everyone. Know what it's time for? 100 Days of Magic. I am your host on this epic journey of little tidbits of magic. My name is Donna Woodwell. I am the proprietress of the Crossroads of Magic and Mastery, the overseer, overlord. What are the right words for that? I'm also the headmistress of the School of Magic and Mastery, and my definite chief aim in life is to give you all the tools that you could possibly need, and then some, to create a more magical life. Hopefully you can hear me, so I'm sure someone will type something into the little chat window at some point in time. Right now I can't see all of you, which always makes me worry that the video is skipping or being delayed or something. I am glad to be here on this equinox day when we are all about finding our balance points in all the areas of our lives, whatever that means to us. Well, hello, Boris. Hello, Claudia. It's always good to have people. Hello, Jackie. Woohoo, back from vacation. It's good to have you here again. I hope you had a wonderful time living in your geodesic plastic yurt. I love the pictures that you shared with everyone. So we are this week focusing on small changes in perception that you can make in the areas of your life, the most basic elements of things that you're going to do every day anyway. We have talked about water and drinking water. We have talked about food, and we have talked about breath. Today we're talking about movement. Tomorrow we're talking about sleep. And I'm focusing on these little mini moments because for most of us, living a spiritual life cannot mean moving to a monastery and sitting up on a hill and contemplating our navels, or just gazing at the stars and doing nothing else. That is simply not the way of life in the West. We don't have that as an option that we're willing to give ourselves. We are structured around working and doing and interacting. We are a very busy modern world. And so if we don't have that kind of luxury of hours and hours a day of meditating, how are we to create a spiritual practice for ourselves, a magical practice for ourselves? And one of the biggest secrets is the part that's laying there right in front of us all. It's changing how we perceive all the little moments of our lives. It's an incredibly potent tool for spiritual growth and development, but it does take you making a commitment to beginning to change your mindset a little at a time. And if you change your mindset for the little things that you do most often, guess what? You get there a lot faster, which paradoxically means that it's not in the grand gestures. It's not in, spending hours and hours setting up the most complicated ritual practice that you can think of. It's in the little changes that you make consistently that set the ground for amazing things to happen overall, which means focusing on water, focusing on food, focusing on breath, and today focusing on movement plus sleep. And I promise you, it will cost you nothing other than small moments of time that add up significantly over the course of your practice. So today we're going to talk about movement. I don't know anyone who doesn't move. I mean, we all move in some ways. We all have a desire, and then we get up and we fulfill our desire. And even if that movement is restricted because of medical reasons, we still move around a bit. Some people, they run like multi-Ironman marathons. They move a lot. Some people move less. You can get a little watch and you can track how many steps you take. It's not so much a matter of how much you're moving. It's how embodied you become within your movements. Most of us, through force of culture, force of habit, have learned to kind of exist in a very small state up here. We watch what's happening on the screen. We take it in through our eyes. We think about it. We watch what's happening on the screen. We think about it. In some ways, we are almost numb to the rest of what's happening in our bodies, unless we're actively doing work to change that. Or we work in some kind of field that makes us much more aware of our physical presence. That seems to be becoming less the state for many people. But it is so important to be embodied if you want to understand the full power of your human experience. The full power of our human experience comes with being rooted, being involved, and being present to the moment. You know, living in our heads means we can live in the past and we can live in the future, but we can't live in the now, not nearly as well as we can when we are embodied. And being embodied just means feeling your way into your body. You know, feeling your way into your arms, your legs, your torso, feeling your own feet. You can even do that now. As I'm talking to you, wiggle your toes, whether they're in your shoes or on your chair, wherever they are. See if you can listen to me and wiggle your toes at the same time. It's not that hard, but it changes your perception of the conversation that we are having. If you are aware of what I am saying and you are wiggling your toes at the same time, it keeps you anchored in yourself. And when you are anchored in yourself, you are much less likely to be thrown off by what other people say and what other people do. You're much less likely to be triggered. That common buzzword for today. To be present means to be able to pull up incredible resources of stamina, endurance, commitment, patience, things that we might say, well, I don't have a lot of patience. If you say you don't have a lot of patience, you're probably not inherently embedded in your body. Think about that for a moment. How different would your life be if, as you moved through the house, you weren't completely focused on, oh, I don't know, I want a cup of coffee. I'm thinking about the coffee, or then maybe getting lost in my thoughts on the way to the coffee, and I can't even remember why I was in the kitchen in the first place. That's not being embodied. That is being in zombie land. You may not even remember what was going on when you ask yourself, well, why did I come in here? That's the living death of zombiehood, which is so popular in mass culture these days. But to be embodied means to slow down just a little bit. And you can use any example of moving as an opportunity to experience being in your body. You can simply go for a walk. Maybe you're just going out to the mailbox to pick up the mail, or whatever else you do in a day, walking the animals. And just slowing down enough to be aware of how your body is moving. I'm picking up one foot, I'm picking up the other foot as I'm moving through space. Feeling what that movement feels like. Or if you're doing yoga or Tai Chi, those are the perfect opportunities to get in tune with your body. That's what they're designed for. So if you happen to be doing those already, you get the idea of what it means to be present to a moment in time. You can even take it up a notch and play with the concept of uniting your spirit body with your physical body. I talk about this in my classes sometimes. You can imagine your hand. You can see your physical hand in front of you. but you could imagine your spiritual hand occupying the same place as your physical hand, and that the two of them can move together with intention. It's a great tool, especially if you're doing things like, I don't know, personal experience, Pilates, or something else that requires you to tune into the fine muscle movements of your body and adjust them subtly. It really helps to be able to consider a spirit hand or an imagined hand occupying the same place, because if you can't get one to go, you probably can get the other to go, and they will follow together. It also, being present in your body changes the way you put your energy out into the world. It increases what you project. It gives you a sense of glow and charisma that other people find attractive and compelling in ways that can help in so many areas of your life. You know, whether you're talking or teaching or writing or just spending time with other people, you are shining that divine light into the world in a way that inspires other people to do the same in their own ways. Okay? And it doesn't take anything other than spending a few moments of consciously connecting. My shamanic teacher used to say all the time, energy follows thought. And that is so very true when we are talking about bringing divine energy down into the physical world. It happens when we invite it to happen. Automatically, organically, because that's how the system is supposed to work. That's how the system does work if we are not throwing up all kinds of blocks and defenses in the process. And so, rather than trying to tackle the places in your life where the biggest blocks are, you know, the relationship that went bad, the parents that didn't give you the love you wanted to have, the disappointments that you've had all through life, those are parts of our lives, but we tend to build calluses around them. But things like water, most of us don't have an emotional block around. Things like moving across the room, we probably don't have an emotional block around. And so if you can sneak the spirit in those places where there isn't already a built-up block, you can begin to build a reservoir of resources that you can draw on to sustain your spiritual practice, that makes it easier to, when you get around to clearing up those blocks, which you're probably going to have to do sooner or later, you at least feel like you aren't at the end of your rope. You're like, oh my God, I can't handle one more thing. You're not there anymore. You're like, you know what? I can do this. I got this. And once you make that leap, you can begin to build a feedback loop where a little bit becomes a little bit more, becomes a little bit more, and eventually you're on your way and you take it for granted. That's what a spiritual practice is about. It's about creating a habit around connecting to spirit, honoring yourself, realizing the divine creature that you are, having a physical experience, and allowing that light to shine in the world so that it gives other people inspiration to do the same. Right? Okay, well, that is our conversation on movement today. Be present in your body in all the ways you can, as often as you can. It's that simple. So, thank you all for tuning in. If you've got any questions, feel free to put them in the comments of this video. We have people here all the time coming in and out of this group, so feel free to start a conversation with other people who are commenting. Feel free to share these posts with your own groups, anyone who you think can benefit. You can either share the link for the Crossroads of Magic and Mastery, invite your friends to come, or you can pick up these videos and share them on your own pages or your own groups, wherever you feel like they might be appropriate. The other thing about the Crossroads of Magic and Mastery is it's here for everyone to use to share things that you might find useful to others on the path of learning to deepen your magical practice. We stumble across things all the time in our journeys on the internet and our conversations with other people. If you want to share them with, 11,000 of your friends, feel free to post them here, because then you're also doing a little bit to share the light into the world. And if you happen to be a creator of such things, if you happen to write blog posts or create courses or sell things that are on this path, feel free to post them too. All of that is totally acceptable. As long as you're not advertising personal readings, go for it. You don't need my permission. You don't need any of our moderators' permissions. You just need to post. And we all get the benefit of your shared wisdom too. Okay? Well, thank you very much for tuning in today. It's a special equinox day. The energies are crackling in the air. If you'd like to hang out a little bit later this evening with me, I will be hosting the Magick and Mastery School will be hosting an equinox ritual celebration. You can find a link to register in the Crossroads of Magick and Mastery under the pretty blue Aurora's picture. I'd love to have you there, have you tune in while we all zone out and tune into the energies of the cosmos. All right? I will be seeing you all there, and I look forward to our continuing adventures together. As I said, tomorrow we're going to be talking about sleep and the magic that sleep can add to your everyday life. Until the next time, take care, everyone.